Not all businesses are made equal, but the idea behind Business One is that key functions that are generally common to all of them need to be automated. Business One is a complete integrated package with a myriad of functions that covers all the operations of various units of a company. In our demo today, we're going to cover a few functions indicated by the blue arrows that will give us a good idea of how an import and distribution business would work with Business One. Our pharmaceutical distribution business has a lot of controls around gross profits for products. Many times margins are very, very thin, and we also have customer as well as supplier relations to watch over. I'm starting out as a sales manager of our pharmaceutical distribution company, and on a Monday morning, there's a few reports that I need to run that I'm going to discuss in the sales meeting today. So I look at the open items list report that shows me all the open sales quotations. We've been chasing some of this business for quite a while, and I want to make sure that all our salespeople are on top of things and are trying to close these sales with our customers. Click of a button, I can send this report via email straight out of Business One without having to print the report, scan it, and then email it using an email client. While that's on its way, I'm going to run a second report that looks at the profitability of all our stock items in the period that we need to discuss in the meeting. So I use a sales analysis report to run that meeting using a date range, and it shows me the gross profit that our items have made in the said period. So it looks interesting. All of our items look like they're making good profit. My interest is in the Panado 450 milligram that is making 10.45% gross profit. I want to see what makes up that profit and that sales amount that we've made. So I'm going to double click on it, and it shows me there's one invoice in there that we have sold the item to a customer, and I just want to see the details of that invoice. So I drill down using the orange arrow, and it brings up the invoice. It shows me all of the details of that. So that was quick and easy. So I want to do my own wizardry with this data, and to do that I'm going to export it into Excel with 1 or 2 mouse clicks, and then I can add my own formulas, my own formatting, and then save it somewhere that I can use later. And with that, Business One gives me accurate interactive reporting, visibility of inventory gross profits, and productivity enhancements through things like tight integrations with Microsoft Office. I've got a really great customer called Dulux Pharmacies who I sent a quotation a while back with a few options of our Panadol products. I sent him 2 options of our 500 milligram Panadol as a carton or as a case. Now it's the same product packed in different ways. One is that it's got 12 packets of Panadol in the carton. The other option is they could buy a case that has 12 packs of Panados in the case, which becomes a little bit cheaper per unit. Now, because we don't have this particular brand of paracetamol in stock, and it would take a few weeks to arrive, my customers asked if I could give them some alternative paracetamol product that may be similar to this one. So I go straight to converting the quotation to a reserve invoice, which allows me to bill the customer while I'm organizing delivery. And I get rid of the case because the customer wants a carton of the alternative product. And I then look at the item availability check function to see what I could replace this carton with, because we do not have stock as shown by available quantity. I look at the alternative item, and I can see there's a product called Pando, which is an alternative to our Panado product. We've got a lot of them in stock, and it says that my match factor there is 90%, so it should be fine. And it tells me that it's this one has a lower concentration of paracetamol in it, but it should be fine too. So I select that product, and it replaces the Panado product that I had in there before. And it's now a matter of me selecting the carton that the customer wanted, and it gives me the correct pricing for that automatically. Having done that, I'm not sure whether we make money on this Pando product. So before I post this reserve invoice, I just want to check the gross profit that I'm going to make once I have posted it. Bring that up on the screen, and it tells me we've got a healthy profit of about 36%, so that should be fine. I'm finishing off the order knowing that our margins are protected and we can get out of this interface. Let me call up that reserve invoice one more time so I can see what it's going to look like when we mail it to the customer. And if I click the PDF button, it shows me exactly what it's going to look like when we attach it to an email or print it. So you've got all the details of the invoice in this nice layout, and it's going to look really, really nice when it gets to our customer. The big benefits is we can keep the ship sailing. With me, an ordinary salesperson who's not a pharmacist could replace one paracetamol item for another because it was defined in the system already by one of our senior pharmacists. And on top of that, there's the productivity improvements that Business One brings by having that workflow from quotation to reserve invoice. I could convert the one document to the other without having to rekey in all the data, giving way for human error. Stepping into the shoes of our warehouse manager now, all of those sales that have been happening, somebody's got to deliver those goods to our customers. As a warehouse manager, I'm located in a different part of town, so I have my own login to Business One and I'm accessing it via the cloud, so we can reach it wherever we are. I'm going to perform some fulfillment operations, look at all the orders and invoices that have gone out to our customers, and I'm going to organize all the deliveries by optimizing our delivery routes and getting the right people to pick these items, pack them nicely, and then dispatch them. This is the dashboard that I see as the warehouse manager. Very simple for me. It's got 3 drawers that I work with: open, released, and picked. And among all the orders and invoices pending delivery, I can see the one Pando paracetamol that we worked with in the steps before, and I'm going to organize picking for that and the delivery. So let me just tick it to indicate that this is what I want to move. I'm going to release that to the next stage, which is to generate a pick ticket. I'm going to then pick my trusted picker in my warehouse, and this happens to be George. And let me just give him some instructions to take care while picking this item because it's very, very sensitive. We don't want to lose anything. I'm generating the pick ticket and it moves into the next drawer, which is the released drawer. So all of my pick tickets that are waiting to be confirmed are in this drawer. Let me now open this pick ticket number 2 and organize for the picking. So what I would do is open that, and I might print it. If we perform manual picking, I'll print this for my picker, and he might go out with a forklift or a pen or whatever it is, a pallet tray, and he's going to then indicate with pen which batch and quantity that he picked. A customer typically uses this product within 2 weeks, and so when George is picking, he's picking the oldest batch first, or the first expiring batches. So when I look at his pick ticket, I see that he's written a batch that expires in July. And if I look at my system here, it shows me the available batches. I've got 150 in a batch that expires next year, while I have got 40 in a batch that expires in July. And then that is the batch that I select to complete my picking. Once the picking is completed, I'm going to create a delivery note, and that is going to complete the dispatch process. And once printed or emailed, so delivery note is going to look really neat with all the batch information available for the customer to inspect. And of course, it's important in our industry to be able to trace batches back to all the customers that we sold them for quality purposes in case we need to perform a recall. So I run my batch number transactions report, look at my Pandor product that I have sold, and I can see everybody that we have sent this to. It's very quick for me to look at a tracing report that can potentially help us during a product recall. Now, I'm a little worried that we may be tying a lot of our money in dead stock or stock that's not moving, stock we're not selling. So I want to look at how old my inventory is and potentially make some decisions about how we're going to order these in future. By running the stock aging report, I can see that our paracetamol products are really not optimized. We've got a lot of stock that is sitting there older than 180 days, just waiting to be sold. And in the meantime, we've been buying more paracetamol via the Pandor product, and that's sitting in 30 to 90 days. I really shouldn't have been buying all of that Pandor. I should have been selling off all of the older stock. So what I could potentially do is stop buying, put a hold on buying all the Pandor until you can finish all the Panadol, or we can put the Panadols on promotion and discount the price and get them to sell quicker. I get lots of value from Business One as a warehouse manager because I have complete visibility of all the stock that I've got in the system, seeing where it is, where we're ordering from, and who or which customer we can deliver to first. We can organize our deliveries by consolidating shipments to customers and also optimizing the delivery routes. And then on top of that, we can minimize stock loss by making sure that we get rid of the older batches or the nearest expiring batches first in our sales strategy. And then beyond that, we can also optimize our inventory by making sure that we are selling the right stock at the right time. The MRP function is a decision-making tool that we use in the ordering process that analyzes current inventory levels versus supply capacity. So what it really helps us do is schedule all the supply of materials while minimizing the inventory that we're carrying. Now, the Panados are our best-selling item, and we never want to run out of them ever again. So we're going to make sure that it's included in our MRP weekly run, and the system is going to recommend what orders we need to make and where. If I look at our Panado 500 milligram product there, I can see that it's got a minimum stock quantity of 10 in warehouse 1. And that, of course, that is very helpful when we are running our MRP wizard. That's going to help us reorder this item. I can also see that it's got a long lead time of 90 days with our preferred supplier. When I start the MRP wizard, I'm going to ask it to sweep the database for all items that need to be reordered based on their minimum reorder level. And I'm going to do this only for warehouse 1. What I want to do is I want it to generate purchase orders for me, even though there's other things that it could generate, such as purchase requests and even stock transfer requests. And like magic, the MRP wizard finds 2 stock items that we need to reorder because they have gone below their minimum reorder level. So if I expand the Panado product, I can see that it's recommending us to bring in 10 of those items to bring them back to the minimum reorder level. And I can see that it's recommending a purchase order for a specific date. We need to bring that stock level up. So I'm going to take the recommendation of the MRP wizard. I'll save it, and then I'll proceed to get it to generate the purchase order. It's a good thing we have a regular preferred supplier for this item, so the MRP wizard already recommends who we should buy this from. All that remains is for me to select the unit of measure. And with that done, I can get the system to create the purchase order in the background without me capturing details from scratch. And I call up the newly created purchase order just to see what it looks like. I can see that we have a completed order to Acme Corporation in US dollars. The MRP function ensures that we don't overorder or underorder stock items, and that we order based on demand and historical sales of our inventory. Of course, all these operational features end up in the general ledger of the Business One system, so there's that tight integration with the accounting department. And finally, we have the optional SADO Clarity Analytics system, which is available via the cloud, accessible using a web browser, and really lights up the boardroom with all manner of analytics reports.